Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy. Chihua, you're muted.
Oh my God. So this is technology for us. Hello, Jeremy.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, long time no see. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Right.
Okay, shall we begin?
I think we have 7 people in the room here. I think we are expecting about another 5 more people. Okay, so for the rest of you, we hope that you have good dinner already. If not, then it will be 9 o'clock, okay? Right. Oh, you see Yenha. Am I frozen again, Jeremy?
No. Shall we wait for like another 2 to 3 minutes before we start?
Why my video not moving?
Huh? What is that? Oh, Yenha, we can hear you talk.
Huh?
Hi Yanha.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
But my video don't know why freeze.
Yeah, I think you're frozen. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I think we have Greg is in the room as well. How's your dinner, Jeremy?
Very nice as usual, like during the circuit breaker.
Right.
My father will cook. Yeah.
Your father will cook.
Yeah. How was yours?
My dinner,
Yeah.
fast.
Fast.
Mm-hmm.
My dinner was fast.
Oh, a lot of people are coming in.
Yes.
Okay, shall we begin?
Right. Okay, Ken. I think before we start, we will have to mute everybody. If not, can we ask you to mute yourself? Okay. We will be able to hear your voice again. I mean, you will be able to share your voice again later on.
Yes, this is more of an interactive conversation platform where we call it Fireside Chat because this is a very intimate and very casual conversation that really help us talk about things that's important to us, that matters to us. Yeah. So for your info, for your info, this video will be recorded. And if you're uncomfortable showing your face, you can always close your video and then you can just comment on the section below, and it's totally fine with us.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this is not a presentation. I was trying to say that this is not a presentation. Okay, but because we are on the Zoom platform, it gets noisy like a market if we allow everybody to talk at the same time lah. Okay, so I think the how we will play the game here is that there could be certain point where we share where we share some idea or concept. Okay, and then we will always turn around and look at you, and we will open the questions, the floor for questions, or in fact, if you want to share, you can also do so. Yeah, but if you have anything very, very urgent, you must want to say what now, Anna. Okay, you can always raise your hand. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I think let's not hold back everybody. Let's begin now. Okay. So whoever wants to join in can always join in. All right. Okay. So first thing first. Very good evening to everybody who is on the Fireside Chat platform. So here we have the Zoom platform, which you are the live audience. You have the VIP seat, okay, the front row seat, those of you in the Zoom, because you can talk, right? Okay, so we have about, now we see about 10 participants here lah. Okay, but also on the other side, the session is also being broadcast live at the same time on Facebook Live. Okay, so friends over at Facebook Live, yes, we cannot hear you, but always feel free to comment, right? So if you have a questions or if you have anything to share, feel free to comment. But at the same time, me and Jeremy, we cannot see your comment immediately. So over at the back end, Felicia, our intern, okay, she is monitoring the Facebook Live. So at any point that we see your question, right, Felicia will come in and at the right time to share your questions. Are we good? If we are good, maybe we can do a thumbs up. Let's try the. Hey, how do you do that, huh? There is the reaction button, right?
Yeah.
The reaction button somewhere.
You need a full screen if you are not like maximized.
Okay, cool. Right. Oh, we have more people coming in, right?
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Right. So again, like I say, this fireside chat is our first time doing it. Okay, and the idea was actually molded to have people who are part of this community to come together, and we share about things that matters to us lah. All right. So in this situation, we're doing it on a live on a Zoom platform. Okay, but ultimately, we would like to have a real audience face to face. We will arrange a date. And it could be a 2 months one time or once a month kind of thing, a gathering where you guys come in, and then we will have like proper panel, as proper as possible, not like today is me and Jeremy, okay, to talk about things that matters. Right.
Okay. So speaking about COVID-19, actually, can I ask how was your experience during the circuit breaker period in Chihua?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Circuit breaker. Wow. Okay, nothing much break lah. Okay, but I think one of the challenge is working. It's about working from home. I don't know what to say. It's a love and hate kind of a relationship. I find it very challenging to do work at home because home is not something that we equate work with. It's always after work we go home, right? Okay, but I think the first phase of the circuit breaker, we are really trying to figure out how to work from home. Yeah, because it gets busy, but at the same time, you don't know what needs to be done. You don't know how to do it. Okay, but I think later on, as I'm getting used to my table space, okay, I think you need to set certain routine, which is why Felicia, I think Felicia and a few of us, we meet regularly after the first month. Okay, the first month basically we nua all the way. Yeah, we set certain routine, and then it kind of get productive, slightly more productive along the way. But I think the good thing is that we are able to spend more time with our family. I don't know if that's true for you, Jeremy.
Yeah, actually,
do you even work?
Yeah, actually, currently I'm having my internship at home. I'm doing more digital marketing. So all my work are more on like online based, and I'm doing more of like researching and stuff like that. So for me, what really matters is spending time with my family and learning how to cook from my father. Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest takeaway during this period.
Yeah. Intern from home. I think only your generation. Yeah. So same as Felicia, intern from home. See, good life. No need to go out into the field.
So speaking about going out, actually now COVID-19 with the circuit breaker coming to an end, what are some of the guidelines that we should take note of during this period?
Guidelines.
Yeah,
I think
like
there are many. So which is why I think we are here to right, to talk
Yeah.
about what we want to talk about. But how about here? Let's hear from the audience, and if they have anything to talk about during their circuit period, circuit breaker period experience. How about that?
sure.
So guys, if you are in the room, you can unmute yourself, okay? Unmute yourself, and then you can talk at least, yeah. Okay, so if you are shy to talk, you can always put it in the chat.
Mm.
How
Or if
about
it's maybe if it's pleasant, you can even do a thumbs up. Very mini interaction.
So let's see if we can, can do a thumbs up like that. Okay, go to reaction, okay, and you can press the thumbs up button. So if you think that the CB period has been a pleasant experience, more pleasant than unpleasant, we can do a thumbs up. Wow. Okay. So Aloysius is in the room as well. Jovic. Right. Okay. So anybody wants to share about their experience? We still have people coming in. Okay. If not, then right. Let's go into I think what we want to talk about proper today. So for that, let me share the screen. If you cannot see, just shout out, right? Because this technology thing sometimes not very helpful. Okay, can you all see the screen?
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, okay, you can see but cannot change. Okay, let me see. Right, so how about this? All right. Yes, okay, so today the main bulk of the session is that we recently we came up with a set of recommendation, right? Okay, still more people coming in. Right, a set of recommendation for getting outside during COVID-19. Okay, I will have to say that we took very heavy reference of these guidelines from the Leave No Trace Center. Yeah. Somebody unmute, is it?
No, I think everyone muted.
Oh, okay, because I heard some noise. Okay, Vince is in the room as well. All right, okay, so recently we came out with this set of recommendation for getting outside during COVID-19. Okay, I think it is very timely that that we share this set of recommendation now, because many people actually are heading out already, right?
Yeah, with circuit breaker coming to an end.
I think we have already ended.
Yes.
I think we have already ended. I think the circuit breaker, official period has ended. We now move into a new phase where people think that now the cage has opened. Yeah. So, this chat session actually is more focused on sharing of these recommendations. So now that, so we want to make sure that we are in the right context, talking the right things to the right people. So if you are here in this room probably because you love the outdoors, you are somebody who goes out there very often. Okay, and then you think that, hey, there's something that I want to share, or is there something that I would like to understand a bit more? So that is why you are here. Okay, but I think there is also another group of people who might be here because their job requires them to do so. Probably they are like outdoor teachers or outdoor instructors or this kind of thing. Okay, right? Yeah. Okay. So at any point of time, if you think that, hey, you have a question or there's something that you would like to share, or you would like to bring the conversation to a new perspective, feel free, unmute yourself. All right. Okay. And let us hear your voice, and then we will move the conversation along. Okay. So we are not really scripted. We don't really have, so there's some room for free play. Are we good? So for friends over at Facebook, just comment. All right, Felicia will help to consolidate all these comments.
So we have also created a poll or more of a survey to find out about the actions and behaviors of our people in our community of outdoor users and how they feel towards circuit breaker and whether or not they want to go out during this period. So here are some of the questions that we have asked, and here are the results.
So very interesting. Let's look at the results, the questions and the result. Okay, so the first questions we asked them is whether or not they have go out or they have gone out to do some form of exercise. Now we use the word exercise here because you are only allowed to do exercise. You cannot do, other forms of recreation. Okay, so very specifically, we asked whether you have gone out there to do exercise during the CB. A lot of them, yes. Okay, during the CB, right? So before the June 1st period. So a lot of them are already out doing some form of recreation. Shall we look at the next one? Okay, so by the way, this survey is that we have 405 respondents. Okay, quite a bit lah. Okay, quite a number of respondents. Okay, so the next question asks about whether they have changed the way they recreate outside during the CB period. Meaning to say they have done some changes, not like the usual way how they have gone out there for their jog or they are running, they are cycling or this kind of thing. Okay, so again, very assuring to see that more than 75% of them have adjusted the way they enjoy the outdoors.
I also like the 17% of people who didn't go out to exercise during CB because I feel that this group of people are keeping maximum safety to themselves and to everyone else. Yeah.
But I would like to see it as also this 17%, okay, that they could be also, usually they have gone out, but because it's CB, they did not go out. All right, so if that is the case, I would say that this 17% is actually part of the 75% because they have adjusted. They have adjusted from used to go out to not going out because they want to be even safer. All right. I mean, wow. That's just my thought lah. Right?
I think that's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah. So from the audience, so far, do you all have any questions? These two survey questions. We also have the red color where we have a small portion of people who have not changed the way how they go out. They go out like the way they go out usually. Yeah. Okay. So if you have any questions, remember, just feel free to unmute yourself, okay, and just post the question. Right. Now let's look at the next one. During the CB period, all right, okay, how many of us actually look forward to going out? Actually, a lot. Many people dying to go out. Okay, so when the cage open, the birds will fly. Okay, so good almost 79% of people wants to go out. The next one, wow, how concerned are you about the spread of COVID-19 when you are out there sharing the space with other users? We have only, this is very interesting, we have only slightly more than half of them who are concerned. Okay, now the other big group, 36% of them are neutral about the spread of the virus. Okay, and we have a small portion of them who are not concerned at all. It's like, nah, this is not going to get me, and then I'll be fine. So
Chihua, do you think there are some reasons behind this very different perspective of how they are neutral or not concerned about the spread of COVID-19?
I'm not very sure. We didn't ask the question. The question didn't really ask much about the problem. Okay, but it could be that they might think that, oh, they're out there, the sun will kill the virus, the wind will blow the virus away. Okay, or because I'm going out there to exercise, I am actually fine. I'm a healthy person. The virus will not come to me. Okay, but of course, we recently see a increase in COVID-19 cases, of community cases. Correct? I think of yesterday there was 11. I didn't watch today's news, but yesterday was 11. Anybody from the floor can, update how many community cases today? Anybody on the ground? Audience, from the audience? Anybody has today's news about how many cases we have? Nobody watch news, or everybody so shy?
344.
344.
344 community cases.
COVID cases in Singapore, but there are 7 community.
Okay, a slight drop, but it's still somewhere hovering above the quite a big number. Okay, and I also read that these community cases, they are asymptomatic, meaning to say that they do not display a symptom. That means they are like normal people like you and me going out there, jogging, running, or taking the MRT, and they do not know that they are sick. Okay. Furthermore, these people who goes out to the outdoor thinks that they are strong. Not only that they are not sick, that they think that they are strong. Okay. So this is a case of not you catching the virus. Okay, but this is all about you spreading the virus, which is a problem. If you do not know that you have it and you go out there as usual and you spread it, it's very bad. Yeah, so this is something that I think it's a very big concern, right?
Okay.
So let's take a look at the next question. Okay, whether these people think that they have sufficient knowledge or information to enjoy the outdoors, right?
So what do you mean by sufficient knowledge or information?
Information or knowledge. Okay, it could be, when you plan to go out there into the park to just have some fresh air, okay, do you have enough information? Meaning to say, there are NParks actually come out with a website. Okay, you can actually track. You can, before you even reach the park, you know how crowded it is. So probably a lot of people do not know that there is such a channel or a platform, okay, to plan ahead. That sort of information probably. Yeah. Okay. So we can see 81% of them actually think that they have enough knowledge okay, and there is also a very good 16, almost 17% who thinks that they do not have enough knowledge, but they are open to learning about more. Of course, a small portion of them are not concerned at all. Okay. Yeah. So let's take a look at who responded to this survey. Right. Okay, so let's look at the top 2 tier. We have 22.7% from the age group, 21 years old to 35 years old. Okay, next, second group of people, above 65 years old, 21.2%, actually very close. Okay, so because we only have 405 responses, okay, it may or may not represent the majority of the community. Okay, but at least from our results, okay, 56 years old and above, okay, they form the second top group of people being out there. So, what do we know about COVID-19 and the elderlies, Jeremy?
I feel that from this survey, we can really see that even during the circuit breaker period, people still want to go out. Imagine post-circuit breaker period where some restrictions are lifted off or even some safety measures are less restrictive. So I believe that there will definitely be an increase in people wanting to go out. And there'll be, with the community cases not being zero, Do you think this number will continue increasing, Shihua?
I can't be sure. I think we all are in this to, we have the power to, not say the power, okay, I think we all have to do our part.
Mm.
Yeah, especially the people who go out there, the 56 and above, right? Okay, these are, we know that COVID-19, actually, they are the more vulnerable groups. People like you and me, we can actually recover. I mean, we probably can get out of the infection without much harm, okay? But these are the vulnerable, the elderlies are the vulnerable groups.
So
Yeah.
what do you think is important to actually keep the numbers low?
What is important to keep the numbers low? I think we need to be informed. I think overall, I feel like nothing about politics. Singapore government has been communicating very well. Okay, in fact, we see on TV different dialects. They have information about what to do, what not to do. Okay, well, this provide us enough information. Okay, like wearing a mask or this and that. Okay, but I think the onus is really on us as the common citizen to exercise or to cooperate with all these directions. Okay, so being responsible and being informed about the correct thing is the way to help stop the virus.
I also agree that it really is about the collective effort of individuals in our community to stop this virus from spreading, so that we don't let our past 2 months of efforts go to waste. And
Exactly.
with that, I
Yeah.
also want to ask the audience, what do you all think about this situation? What do you think is important to stop this COVID-19 period from spreading? And for our friends on Facebook, do feel free to share in the comment section below also, and we will read them later on.
Felicia can always respond to their comment. She can voice out. Yes. Yeah.
Yep, actually we have one coming in from Facebook. So by KS Vigneshan, he actually said, based on the poll earlier on, he said maybe that some of them were not concerned because they might have actually worn the mask and thought that it was safe enough, because most of the numbers was being controlled in the government through the migrant worker dormitory.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm not sure. All right. So to the point of the mask issue, I'm not sure because in the earlier stage, somebody from the authority did mention about the mask being a false sense of security. Okay. So if we know about the mask, I don't know what kind of mask that these people may be wearing. Okay, but I think more or less I have some ideas about, okay, just nice, right? Okay. The surgical mask, okay, the surgical mask prevents you from spreading, okay, but it did not, I mean, it's not as efficient as people, you catching it from the other people. Okay, so that's why we need the N95 mask. Okay, y'all have seen this before, right? During the haze days. Okay, so N95 masks, there are actually many different sizes. So it doesn't mean that you buy one from the shop and it will just fit you. Okay, so actually, what needs to be done is that you need to be mask fitted. So if you're working in a healthcare setting, okay, you need to be fitted with the mask that can protect you, the N95 mask that can protect you, and not just any other sizes. Okay, so I did my mask fitting and I got my size. Okay, so I cannot wear any other sizes. Okay, so again, talking about the mask issue. Now, mask is now a mandatory by default setting. Okay, because previously the government said that the face shield, okay, can be used to be worn in replacement of the mask. Okay, but now it's not. Okay, so unless you belong to a special group of people, then the face shield is okay for you to be worn out there, like young children or what. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a very valid questions, and thank you for the comment.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing, Chihua. Shall we move on to the next section of this conversation?
Okay. Right. Okay. So we came up with this. This is the set of recommendation that we put up on Facebook that we push out. Okay. Have you all seen this before?
So where do you get this set of recommendation, and how do you even get this set of recommendation?
We adopted this framework, this recommendation framework from Leave No Trace Center. Okay, but of course, that being done in the context of the US context, we changed a bit of the content in the sense that now this talks about our local Singapore context.
Wow, interesting.
Yes. Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So shall we move into the context? I mean, point by point, shall we?
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, Jeremy, you have seen this before, right?
You and your outside world.
Yes.
Yup.
Okay. So this talks about you and your relationship with you and the outdoors, and during this COVID-19 period, even probably post COVID-19, right? Things will not be the same anymore. Okay. But at this point, we want to share with you. Okay. I think that the circuit breaker is over. We are now into phase 1. All right. So I think as long as we are clear about this, we know what we can do and what we cannot do. All right. So during circuit breaker, we cannot do anything. Now into phase 1. Okay. Into safe reopening. Now, for me, I think phase 1 is still the same as circuit breaker. No?
Why is it still the same?
Because a lot of things still cannot be done, okay. So as we go about sharing this recommendation, let's be very clear that we are not saying that now is the good time or the right time or the okay time to go out. Okay, because the best advice is still to stay at home. Okay, but in case that you would like to go out for some exercise, okay, this guideline may be able to help. Okay, so understanding phase 1, you are still required to stay at home, and a lot of facilities are still closed now. Okay. Right. Okay. So we have to know that our relationship with our outside activities, is going to be changed. Right. Your personal vulnerability. So if you are elderly, okay, and you know that this virus is not going to do you very good if you get it. Okay, you might want to stay at home. Okay, and if you are a bit more sickly, okay, and you think that you might catch the virus and you might also be a spreader among your community, you want to protect the health of the others. Okay? It's all this you need to think. Last time is you think before you go out, you must check the whether rain or not. Okay, you bring food enough for you to drink, enough for you to eat or not. Okay, and very simple thing. Okay, but now I think we need to think a bit more. All right.
There's more thinking about planning ahead and preparing for outdoor activities.
Yes, and I think we need to really pay attention to the advisories because things change quite fast. For example, one day they say that the face shield can be used, then a few days later they say that the face shield cannot be used and the mask is a default. Okay, so we need to be very updated about this kind of thing, right? And one of the biggest, I think, change will be the safe distance. Okay? Even in the outdoor, right, we have to maintain that safe distance. Do not go too close with the other users. Okay, and you should at this point during phase 1, you should only exercise with people living in the same household as you. Yeah, you cannot jio your friends, Jeremy, let's go jogging. Okay, then I from Jurong take a train all the way to Pasir Ris and look for you. Jog one round, take the train and then go back again. No, cannot.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So yeah, so something that we have to consider lah. Okay, you and your relationship with you and your activities outside. Right? Move on to the next one. Okay. Because of COVID-19, we should expect a lot of closures and restrictions. Okay, government has put in advisories, laws, and they have limited places for exercising. Okay, at least I know that the exercise park in my neighborhood is being cordoned off.
Okay.
Yeah, I think sports facilities like the stadiums and all that are also being closed off. Okay, so we should expect. So when the time comes for us to, or rather when you plan to go out, okay, you should expect to have all these or most of these facilities being closed. So if you go into the park and you always rest in this shelter, okay, you should also expect that place to be closed as well. Okay.
Okay, so Chihua, you mentioned a lot about government advisories and laws being imposed. So do you mind suggesting some of the reliable sources that we can read up on to get this kind of information?
I think it depends. Okay, personally, I think it depends on what kind of activities you want to do, right? So if you think that you just want to go down and you have a stadium in your neighborhood, okay, where you go in and run on the track, you might want to check with Sports SG.
Sports SG.
Yeah, you might want to check with the relevant stakeholders. But if you are planning to go into the park, the nature reserve, then you might want to check for sources, for information from NParks. So I think I can't tell you exactly where to get all the information, but go to the best place.
Best place. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So when you have all these restrictions, you have to be prepared, even more prepared, the next time you go out there. Okay. For example, if you always buy your drinks, okay, you don't bring your own water bottle. Okay, you always buy drinks from the mama shop near the park. Expect the business to close. Right? Okay. So you might not get your drinks. You might not get your water bottle, your bottle of drinks. Okay. So come prepared, come even more prepared during this period of time. Okay. And if you always mountain bike and wash your mountain bike, okay, after your trail, okay, in this shop that provide the washing service, expect them to close as well. So you might want to bring extra gears, extra equipments to make sure that you clean off the mud before you cycle home. Yeah. Okay?
Yes, very nice.
Any questions from the crowd?
Yep, if the audience on the floor has any questions, do feel free to comment down again in the comment section below, and Felicia will help us collate comments from Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So anytime you can just unmute, and then during this portion you can just unmute and we can share some thoughts as well. Okay. If not, then the next one. Now we talk about dispose of trash. We all know this. Okay. Why is it more relevant or more special during this COVID-19 period? Okay. We know that we are very dependent on cleaners nowadays, okay, and we know where they are stuck at now. Okay, so a lot of them are running the operations on limited staff or even cleaners. Okay, they have reduced number of people that's going into the park. I mean, not going to the park or serving the park to keep the park clean. So our recommendation is you dispose your trash. You should bring home your trash, okay, and not just conveniently dump your trash into the bin at the park, because if there's a lot of visitors and there are more trash load than the cleaners can manage, it's going to overflow. Okay, so when it overflow, what will happen, Jeremy? You're in your perspective of a leave no trace trainer.
there will definitely be some detrimental impacts like wild animals coming to the area and just savaging the area and causing even more mess and more troubles.
Yeah, and we know that if they feed on all these trash, it's not going to be good for their health, lah. Okay, we all know this. Okay, so when we backtrack, okay, all these things, okay, it actually starts from, it can actually be prevented if you, in the first place, bring back your trash and dispose them at home, right? So the lesser things you bring out, the lesser things you have to manage when you're out there. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So on this point of disposing of waste, okay, let me just share on a leave no trace perspective, lah. You can intentionally dispose, or you can have intentional littering, okay, but there are also sometimes unintentional litterings. Okay, for example, we always like to talk about the mosquito patches, right? You paste them on, you go into the park, because of sweat, the things drop off. And you didn't intend to litter, but you have unintentionally litter. Okay, so these are some of the things that we always get our Leave No Trace participants to think about when they go about doing the outdoor activities. Okay, so it is even more important now during this period that we are more aware, right? Okay,
yes.
So the next one, it doesn't move. Okay, hang on. Okay, avoid the peak period. Okay, we recommend that you do not, okay, you do not join the crowd. Okay, and if you know that this place is gonna be so crowded, okay, do not go in, okay, and be part of the crowd, because the safe distance will be compromised. All right. So NParks has actually come up with this tracking system, right? Where they publish the crowd on this website. Okay, you can see it from the link below.
So this was the website that we mentioned earlier, where NParks actually collate all the data and tell us whether the parks are crowded or not before we go to the place.
Yes, you can actually get like live information, I think. Right. Okay. Now, having said that, we avoid the peak period. Okay. Usually people will go into it. I mean, people who want to do this, right? Okay. They might start jogging or cycling or even doing their activities in the wee hours. Okay. So for this, I think I have to caution, especially females. Okay, avoid going out there when it's too deserted or when it's too unearthly hours, especially alone. Okay, we want you to be safe because the virus may not harm you, okay, but some evil people with bad intention may be out there, okay, to hurt you.
So there was actually a Pongo case, right?
Yes.
Where somebody got stabbed.
He was out jogging.
In the wee hours, is it?
Actually, not so wee. I think it's about the 10:30 to 11 o'clock hours. Wow. I think so, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, so it's dangerous. It's dangerous if you decide to go out there in the dark and then start jogging alone. Okay, so you got to be very careful on this.
Yep.
Right.
Avoid peak hours, but be safe during off-peak hours.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So next is to be caution. Okay, be very careful when you're out there. Right. So we don't want to be injured. Okay, and put additional load to our healthcare system. Okay, because now all resources should be focused on treating the COVID cases so that we can flatten the curve fast. All right. So if you are a rock climber who does natural walls and you think that you want to try that route that you have never tried before, you want to challenge yourself on that mountain bike trails, and that number one mountain bike trail, maybe not for now. Okay.
Better be safe than sorry.
Yes. Okay. So let's be safe first. let's be safe now, because we don't want additional load to be, you know, extra on our healthcare workers. They are already, I think, quite tired looking after the patients. Okay, so put this thought off until the later part, and when the situation is stable, we can always revisit all these challenges. Okay, so for now, be intimate with nature. Just go out there, enjoy the refreshing moments, okay, with Mother Nature. I think this is very, very helpful. Okay, there is also this, when you are out there, download this Trace Together app. Right, it will help you link up with people that is around you at that moment, and if any of them are infected, you can easily be traced.
Trace Together app.
Yes, okay, very simple. Just, you know, your app store, you have it. Okay, and if you want to go out, okay, please just stay within the vicinity of your neighborhood. Don't go too far, like me from Jurong to Pasir Ris and look for you to jog. Okay, any questions from the ground?
Hi, Chihua.
Hey.
So from Facebook, there's this comment from Arun. He wanted to know more on why did the person stab the other jogger at Pongo.
Wow, I don't know leh. Okay, but I think I read from the news that these two people are not related. Yeah, that's what I know from the case. These two persons are not related. Okay, and I think it's a very young person. The perpetrator is actually a very young person. So it could be a case of robbery, or, you know, he could be just drunk or something. So Arun, your question is why this person stabbed him, is it? I don't know. I think there was no further update on that.
But yeah, that really enforces us and reminds us to be safe during the off-peak hours.
Yeah. So with this, we really would like to everybody be safe from the virus, and be safe from any harm at this moment.
Yep.
Yeah. Felicia, is that yeah? So you can follow up on the questions later on if he have any follow up.
Thank you so much for asking that question, Arun.
Yep. Okay. So the next point is actually to be considerate and kind to other visitors. We are all in this together. We know that it's not a good period. Okay. So when we are outdoors with another person, so let's just be kind. Okay. Even though sometimes we may be, you know, our mask may be covering. Okay. Just smile. I think you can see me smiling, right? Like that. Huh?
Yeah, slightly.
Slightly, yeah. Okay. Practice safe distancing. Okay, let's give each other space, right? And practice good habits. So if you are running and you don't need your mask, okay. But if you don't have your mask, right, you can, if you need to sneeze, you can always, you know, sneeze into your elbow. This will help to reduce the spread. Yeah. So this kind of thing, right? Wash your hands and yeah, so many.
Actually, I like this recommendation because this quote came to my mind. Basically, it was, don't do to others what you don't want others to do to you. So it really highlights how kindness and consideration, empathy actually, can really go a very long way to.
Are you referring to, you know, people who spot other people not wearing a mask and they start taking the phone and start?
Yeah. I think that's one of the a lot of stories that really reminds us the importance of kindness and empathy.
Yeah. So we also want to hold our judgment. If we see somebody not wearing a mask out there, we know that, I mean, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Okay, they could be person with special needs. They can't wear a mask. Okay, or they might be, you know, having other reasons for not wearing a mask. Okay, So like what our Leave No Trace training have teach us, okay, the authority of resource, we can always use that approach to, handle this kind of situation. Okay?
Cool.
Right. Okay. Now the next one, the last one is the Leave No Trace principles. When you're out there during COVID-19, doesn't mean that these principles do not exist. They are still there. Okay. So it is very important that, this 7 principle is always with us, bring along with us when we head out to the outdoors. Okay. So for people who have been exposed to these principles, I think they make more sense to you. Okay? And you can really see the connection. You can really see the connection, why you are doing this in the outdoor and how it can, when you put them together, how it can actually help to make the outdoor a better place and your outdoor activities a better experience for yourself and also for the others.
So to add on, for those who are unaware or this is like your first time seeing the 7 principles of Leave No Trace, basically this is a set of guidelines that you can use to better your experience when you're utilizing outdoor spaces. And so there's like plan ahead and prepare, travel and camp on durable surfaces, or dispose your waste properly. So these are some of the examples that you can follow to be a responsible outdoor user.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have questions. Are we open for, can we open the ground, the floor for questions?
Yep. So we have actually finished presenting our guidelines, and we hope that you all really learned some of the important tips or gain something through this discussion. And actually, I have a question to ask you, Chi Hua, if you don't mind. So do you have any plans after phase 3 when you open up? Or actually, how are you going to make your trails different?
Wow, headache. Okay, so let's look at the phases. Okay, phase 1, no. All right. Okay, phase 2, what I understand is that you will be able to meet up with your friends for social activities. So dining in at restaurants and all that, okay, going into the parks with friends is okay. But I think the magic number is 5 at this moment. Right?
5.
So phase 3 is where we can start organizing social activities. We are still far from that, okay? so we are still in phase 1 now. So I think we are not going to see phase 3 anytime very, very soon, okay? But at least at this moment, we know that it will be different. Definitely it will be different. So us organizing our trails, it could be in a smaller group, bigger space. What else can we think of? Okay, contact tracing, safe entry app, temperature taking, all these we will have to be in place for sure.
Yep.
Right?
Agree.
Yeah. Okay. But I think one of the things that we, especially organizing nature walk, where we need the group to be close, okay, so that we can point out that cicada on the tree. Right? Okay, and then we can talk very softly so that our audience, okay, we do not generate much voice and disturb the wildlife. But when we have to spread out, we might have to shout. The nature guide may have to shout. Okay, so luckily we do have some resources where we plan and we're gonna deploy all these tour audio sets. Right, so every participants, okay, will have a receiving audio sets where the guide can talk with the mic, okay, and over a distance, the participants will be able to engage or follow the guide in the trail.
Cool. Wait, that's actually kind of.
Yeah, at least for now, okay. Mass activities or very intimate activities such as camping and kayaking, probably this kind of thing, we will definitely have to come up with more procedures to mitigate the risk of infections.
Interesting. So, sorry, I'm directing back to the audience. Do you all have any questions? If you all have, for the audience in Zoom, feel free to unmute your mic and ask us. Or you can also leave your question in the comments below. For our friends on Facebook, you can leave your questions in the comments below as well.
So, Chihua, what about let's say if I'm a guy, I use a stick.
Is that Yenha talking?
Yes, yes,
Oh.
yes.
Right.
So if let's say I use is it appropriate to use a stick to point out to things, you know?
Yeah. I think in terms
or
of
a laser pointer or a stick.
Yeah, I don't know how long your stick can go.
At least a meter.
A meter,
Can
yeah.
use it to measure the safe distancing.
Oh, to measure the safe distancing. If you want to use the stick to measure safe distancing, then okay,
no, I mean I can use it as a like
pointer
to point out to staff, you know,
yeah,
for the participant to see lah.
Okay. In terms of nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's only that you might want to be safe lah. Okay, because that could be something that could hurt you if you fall and then you trip over that stick, or that stick will break, or you know. Okay, so in terms of leave no trace concept, there is nothing wrong with using that as a pointer. Okay, but we do have considerations for walking sticks. When you have walking sticks on the trail, because you tend to scrape things. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think sticks also, any other sticks also, you tend to like unconsciously, you go and poke here, poke there.
Yeah. If you are aware as a guide, I think that is fine. Okay, but if any other person with a stick, you sure poke one. You will see whether this one hard or that one soft or that one. So there will be traces, there will be impact created if you abuse the stick.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, I think there is not a very big problem. But laser pointer, we also use laser pointer on our trail floor. Yeah, I think it's a good way to show the audience or the participants where that tree climbing crab is without going too close. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay,
Yenha.
so sorry, as in there are comments from Facebook as well as the group chat. So it was prior to the stabbing case earlier, just to clarify. So Christine actually said that it was actually a case due to mental health issues, and that most of us shouldn't speculate on what exactly happened. Yeah. And there's one coming in from Tammy. So she asked, during current circuit breaker period, increasingly use of plastic packaging, most of us tapao the food home because we can't dine in. So in your point of view, how do we actually help to reduce plastic waste?
Okay, the stabbing case, very sensitive also lah, because this is we are not in the news or the news zone. We are not news media company. Okay, so that is why I say earlier that I'm not very sure. Okay, but what has been reported in the news is that the both of them are not related. Okay, so if there are sources that say that this is a mental health case, then see, it is dangerous. So what we are trying to say is that as we avoid peak period, okay, we also want to select a safe period to do our activities. A safe period, a safe place. Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Christine, Christine, for highlighting this, because in this pandemic period, we also want to be very clear about fake news. Okay, so let's verify our news before we spread. Okay, if you are not sure, say that you are not sure. Yeah, and we don't speculate. Okay, so for Tammy, how do we reduce the plastic waste? The plastic waste. Yes. Government already say bring your own container.
But actually, she said more of like home delivery. So when we cannot bring our own utensils, right? Wait, can we?
Home delivery?
Yeah, so like we like Grab food, Grab delivery, where we just press some buttons and then the delivery person will deliver the food over.
Yeah.
So we don't have any apparatus to send to them to get the food. So how can we reduce plastic?
Is that the question from Tammy? Because if it's delivery, I don't think we can, you know, bring them our container. Might as well I go there and tapao.
I think for her meant two ways. So it could be either the delivery or you're out to have a takeaway. So whenever there's a takeaway action, you are actually using the plastic. You're having the use of increase of plastic. So she was just thinking how are we able to reduce such plastic waste?
Right. Okay. So I think a few perspectives. Let me just give a few perspectives. Okay. Now the first thing is you bring your own container, whether pandemic or not pandemic. Okay, we bring our own container because we really want to minimize waste. Semakau is running out of space already. Okay. So as a human, I think we are consuming more than what we need to consume because convenient. Okay, so long as I think we are able to overcome the habit of convenience, let's bring our own container, wash them after use, and then reuse them the next time round. Okay? But in the case of the COVID-19, we know that a lot of resources are actually going to the dormitories, and they need the containers to keep the food. Okay, so my approach to when it comes to bringing my own container to tapao food, okay, my rationale is number one, saving the earth. Number two, keeping these resources for those people at the dormitories. We know every day there are 300 over thousands, I think, okay, 300 over thousands of them per meal. All right, one day they take 3 meals, 900 over 1,000 container. They need it. Yeah. So that's my view lah. Okay. So BYO is always the best way. Bring your own. Jeremy, how about anybody? Any views from the ground? Any sharing? Any thoughts?
Okay, while the audience are writing, I would like to share mine. I think maybe perhaps we can consider other alternatives, such as making our own meals. I think this would not only reduce waste, but also reduce our cost expenses. It's like a win-win situation. Of course, you need to put in time and effort to cook as well. But I believe there are some other alternatives we can consider if we have the time, especially during this circuit breaker period.
Yeah, I think now a lot of celebrities are, you know, cooking online and then sharing a lot of recipes. Yeah. Okay. Any other question, Yenha?
Yeah. I think if let's say on the plastic issue, if there's no other choice, I will usually reuse let's say the plastic bag more than once. Like use it to trash rubbish or for storing things. You know, at least use another time before I throw it away.
Yep. Correct. Of course, the best way is not to use it lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we have one more coming in from Marisa. So with regards to plastic containers as well, so she's mentioned that a lot of us know why we need to bring our own containers, but how does one container save the earth?
How does one container save the earth?
Like what difference does it make?
The problem, the biggest threat to, the planet is when you think that the others will do the job of saving it. Do y'all get it? It was on our post yesterday. Okay, so this was actually the quote. Okay, let me read it. Okay, so the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that somebody else will save it. Never mind, other person will save that one container. For me, it's just one container. It makes no difference. So I'm going to use it anyway because I believe somebody else will do. This is not my job. So if everybody starts thinking like that, we have a big problem. And this is the biggest threat to our planet. So if it doesn't start from you, it doesn't start from me, then who? So it is not that one plastic container that we're talking about. It is the one that is after next, and after next. That's what I think.
Okay, I also agree on your perspectives on that. And I believe it's really the collective effort as the whole community joins forces to really make the effort to save as much container as we can whenever we can.
Right. Okay.
So with that, shall we end off with like the last question?
Yeah, do we have a last question?
Last question.
Yeah, we exceeded the time.
Yeah.
But thanks for being still online. I think we have a very good chat.
All right, the last one from Yen Ha. So this is more on just a suggestion. So she feel that it will be good to have another session talk to discuss about plastic waste and marine litter problems.
Well, very good. Okay, so if you do not know, 8th of June is actually the World Ocean Day, right? The World Ocean Day. That's where we celebrate the ocean. We celebrate the biodiversity of the ocean, the ecosystem services that it provides for us. That is the day where we celebrate the ocean. Okay, but I think that is only, when is it? 8th of June, 2 days later. I think we are too rushed for that. Okay, but yes, we're gonna have more chats session, okay, on this kind of topics lah. And we probably might also want to push, we know NDP is coming. Okay, we want to see whether we can get somebody prominent to come in to talk about the NDP Fun Pack, which has been on the news recently. Okay, we hope to do that. Okay, but being our first fireside chat, I hope that we are able to get a sensing of how to go about doing this conversation. Make sure it's engaging enough. Okay, make sure that there is an outcome that everybody feels that they benefited. Okay, but at least one thing we know: 40 minutes is not enough. Okay, so the next time we might have the fireside chat for an hour, right? Okay, and hopefully in phase 3 we will have the live fireside chat where you can come in, okay, either on the Zoom or physically into a space where we gather.
Oh, I can't wait for that to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So if do we have any other questions? No? Yep, I don't think, Jeremy, I think we are good.
Okay, so with that, we have come to an end of our fireside chat. And thank you very much for your time. The audience in Zoom as well as in Facebook, thank you all for asking questions and being so engaging. And yes, thank you very much. And we have come to an end.
Yep. If you have questions, you can continue to post them on Facebook after we're going to put this session onto Facebook. You can continue to post them. Write to us, go to our YouTube channel. Okay, just leave us a comment or whatever. We are still around. But for now, we have come to the end of the first fireside chat. That's Jeremy.
Yes.
Yep.
So we hope that y'all also learned something from this fireside chat as much as and enjoy as much as we did during this chat with you guys.
Yep. Okay.
So with
Yeah,
that,
thank you.
yes,
Thank you and
you.
bye-bye. Hope to see you
Bye
soon.
bye. Right. Okay. So with that, we sign off. Bye bye.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.